You're watching the 2019 SCAC Fall Media Days. It's day 3, and we're taking a look into the Schreiner University volleyball program. The Mountaineers coming off a 3-27 season a year ago, 2-14 in SCAC play. The Mountaineers will once again be led as they go into the year by head coach Alyssa Hanley, along with senior middle blocker Kadi Elledge. Coach, Kadi, first of all, thanks so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having us.
Coach, we'll begin with you entering your 3rd season there as the head coach of the Mountaineers volleyball program. Really been in Kerrville for just over 2+ years now. What do you love about preseason, and what makes this an exciting time of the year?
Preseason is always exciting, I think, for everybody because there's fresh faces and you have an idea of what your team's going to look like, but you don't really know until you get them all together. And preseason is where that happens, and you finally get to see those pieces that you wanted to add that you were kind of missing in the year before, and so it's just really exciting time of year to see the whole group come together and see what they can do.
Kadi, for you enter this camp as a senior, one of 4 seniors on this team. Does it feel different being in your final year there? Is there a sense of urgency, and how are you kind of shouldering a leadership role with this group?
Yes, there's definitely a sense of urgency. It's my last year. I want to go to the conference tournament. I want to win the whole thing, and I really feel like this group of girls can do that. They're hardworking, we're driven, we have the talent. We just got to show it on the court.
Coach, we spoke last year, and you talked about the recruiting process really being sort of that first step to creating the culture that you want in your program. You bring in 7 new freshmen this year. Talk about the class that you've brought in, the expectations that you have for them, and what's key for freshmen in the camp process to make sure that they're acclimated and ready for the season.
Yeah, so preseason is always key. I think, we've talked a lot about, as a group, this preseason being tough, mainly because we set those expectations from day one, and I'm not going to let up on them as far as those expectations go. Preseason sets the tone for the whole season, so if we set those expectations high and we keep them high and we keep holding each other accountable, I think we're going to have a really good season. It's where we start to slack off that we get in trouble a little bit, so getting those freshmen on those same page and getting them to understand what those expectations are and then holding them accountable to that is something that we've had a lot of conversations with our returners about.
Kadi, Coach, spoke last season about changing the mentality, being proud to be a part of Schreiner volleyball. How have you seen that growth and change through over the last couple of years since she's come into this program, and does that change help build confidence going into the season?
I think the mentality has definitely changed. When she first came in, I wasn't here, but from hearing things, it's completely different. There's expectations, and you're supposed to do this, and you do it well, and we're just held to a higher standard, and I really appreciate that from her because that just shows that she knows that we can be good and be better, and that's on the court and in the classroom. So the mentality overall has completely done a 180. So,
Coach, as you look at this team offensively a season ago, it was a group that as a whole had a 0.41 hitting percentage. How do you look to kind of improve on that this season and make a growth in that area heading into 2019?
Yeah, I think last year, my first year here 2 seasons ago, we struggled a lot in the serve and pass game. So last year, that was a lot of what we did in practices. It was a lot of serve and pass, and I think we did a much better job in the serve and pass part of it. Where we struggled was on the offensive side, and you can't win games if you can't score. So this year, we're focusing a lot more on our offense, a lot of in-system stuff, but a lot of out-of-system stuff too. In-system's great, and a lot of people can put balls away when you're in system, but I think where you win games is how you handle those out-of-system balls. So this year we're just doing a lot more focusing on our offense than I think maybe we did last year.
Kadi, last year as a junior, you had 107 kills, a 1.29 kills per set with a .97 hitting percentage. You also chipped in with 50 blocks as well. What have you worked on individually as a part of your game to continue to grow and make sure you're as prepared as you possibly can going into this senior year?
Everything Coach tells me in practice, I try to go into the next practice, working on that and trying to consciously think about it. it's easy when everything's broken down and we're separated and you're doing it and everything looks great, but when you're thrown into a game, it's completely different. It's that muscle memory you have to create. So that's with like my hitting, like opening up, rotating when I hit the ball, with my blocking footwork, everything. So I'm consciously thinking about that all the time in practice, and I have to continually think about those things. I can't just like be thrown into the game and like forget all of it and let it fly out the window.
Finally, Kadi, to wrap things up with you, as we look ahead to this season and you've had discussions with your teammates, what are some of the goals for this 2019 volleyball program, and what will be key in order to accomplish those?
So some of our daily goals are mental toughness, accountability, our team chemistry, stuff like that. And if we achieve those daily goals in every practice, every time we're together, that'll lead to our big goal, which is to win, go to the conference tournament, and take it.
Coach, we'll end with this. As you look ahead to this season, what are your expectations for your team this year? And this season will be successful if what plays out. What are you looking for from this 2019 version of the Mountaineers volleyball program?
I think I'm looking for this team to see how they face adversity. It's no secret that this is one of the toughest conferences in the country, so every day is a battle. And that's exciting, but it's also challenging. So I really just want to see, as a group, we have 7 new faces, which is a decent number coming in. And, being a fall sport, we have to get them on the same page really quickly. And there's so many challenges that they're going to have to face. And, I want to help them through that and see what they can do.
Schreiner University volleyball program. Again, the Mountaineers will be led as they head into the season by head coach Alyssa Hanley, along with senior middle blocker Kadi Elledge. Mountaineers will open up the 2019 campaign on August 30th when they take on McMurray. Coach, Kadi, thanks so much for joining us today, and best of luck as you head into the season.
Thanks, Russell.
Thank you.